A groundbreaking study has confirmed fluoride in drinking water is linked to a dramatic rise in autism spectrum disorder, ASD, and ADHD among children. Research involving over 73,000 Florida children revealed a staggering 526% increase in ASD diagnoses in areas with full fluoride exposure, intensifying concerns about the mineral's safety. Let everyone know in the comments what you Homo sapiens and off-world aliens think and subscribe, like, share, jump off a cliff for fast to the point news and information daily. Getting a foothold on YouTube is impossible without your direct participation. Now back to the info, folks. These alarming findings also tie fluoride to ADHD, lower IQ scores, and delayed development, fueling fierce debate among scientists, policymakers, and public health advocates. Once hailed as a dental health breakthrough, fluoride's role in water supplies now faces growing skepticism, with critics like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. pushing for urgent regulatory review. Naturalnews.com reports. The most striking findings come from a study led by Dr. Mark Geier and his son David Geier at the Institute of Chronic Illnesses, published in BMC Pediatrics. Analyzing health records of 73,254 Florida children from 1990 to 2012, researchers found a six-fold increase in ASD diagnoses among those in counties with nearly universal fluoridation. Only 5 cases of autism were identified among children with no fluoride exposure, while 320 were diagnosed in fully exposed communities. The study also noted a 102% rise in intellectual disabilities and 24% increase in developmental delays among fluoridated county children. Though the Geiers emphasized that correlation does not equal causation, the statistical link raised alarms, particularly given prior associations between fluoride and neurotoxic effects. Mark Geier stated, "New risk-benefit analyses of water fluoridation must be conducted," a sentiment echoed by RFK Jr., who plans to petition the CDC to halt fluoridation recommendations. Critics, however, question the methodology. Dr. Faith Coleman, a family physician, noted gaps in tracking fluoride intake levels and timing of ASD diagnoses, which averaged 6.13 years later than typical milestones. The study's validity is uncertain without knowing how much fluoride each child actually consumed, she stated. A surge in autism cases coincides with widespread fluoridation. The timing of the autism epidemic aligns troublingly with prolonged fluoridation. In the 1940s, fluoride was introduced to U.S. water supplies to combat tooth decay, with 2/3 of Americans now drinking fluoridated water. The autism diagnosis rate, meanwhile, has skyrocketed, from 1 in 150 in 2000 to 1 in 36 today. Countries like Germany, with 1 in 139, and France, with 1 in 144, where water fluoridation is rare or banned, report far fewer cases. Fluoride's origins as an industrial byproduct further complicate its acceptance. Hydrofluorosilicic acid, a toxic compound from phosphate fertilizer production, is diluted into water systems. This is not natural, it's untreated hazardous waste, RFK Jr. declared on social media in 2023. Studies like those by Czech researchers Anna Strun, Kova, and Otakar Strun-Tki point to fluoride's synergy with aluminum, amplifying neurotoxic effects at doses far below regulatory limits. Their work in environment, development, and sustainability linked chronic fluoride exposure to oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction, pathways common in ASD. While some research illuminates risks, others refute causal claims. A 2018 environmental health study found higher maternal fluoride levels tied to ADHD diagnoses, and a 2023 meta-analysis showed a 1.63-point IQ decline per 1 milligram per liter increase in childhood urinary fluoride. Yet, skeptics argue fluoridation's benefits outweigh risks. The CDC cites it as a public health achievement, while the American Dental Association emphasizes it prevents cavities, particularly in low-income communities. Dr. Coleman warns against discarding proven dental benefits, noting fluoride safety at regulated levels of 0.7 milligrams per liter. She criticized RFK Jr., stating he's not qualified to argue medical issues. Meanwhile, experts like former EPA scientist William Hersey validate concerns. The numbers of extra ADHD cases linked to fluoridation are enormous, he said. The Geiers Credibility has also faced scrutiny. David Geier, recently hired by the HHS as an autism researcher, was previously disciplined for unlicensed medical practice, and his prior work connecting vaccines to ASD remains controversial. RFK Jr. and allies like the Fluoride Action Network now press policymakers to heed emerging science. Florida and Utah recently banned fluoridation, while advocacy groups amplify calls for bans nationwide. Roughly 40 million Americans now drink unfluoridated water, and autism rates there are lower, Dr. Connett of Fluoride Action Network noted. As debate intensifies, parents confront confusion. Natural health proponents advocate filtering tap water and avoiding fluoridated products. Meanwhile, advocates like RFK Jr. urge transparency. The public deserves to know that fluoride safety is not settled science. The fluoridation controversy highlights science's complexity and public health's ethical dilemma. While fluoride may reduce cavities, evidence of neurotoxicity, from IQ drops to ASD correlations, demands urgent scrutiny. Experts agree on one point: more rigorous longitudinal research is essential to clarify risks, particularly for vulnerable populations like children. As RFK Jr. prepares to challenge fluoridation policy, the question remains: can 80 years of tradition tolerate modern data? The answer may shape public health for generations to come. I hope you learned something today. Now set down your device and go live a screen-free day. Geez, hey!